Hey everybody, welcome to the Slick Tree Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Langford. The point of this show is to help improve ourselves as dogmen and to raise the quality of the dogs on the end of our lead. So let's settle in, turn the volume up, and let's see if we can't learn a trick or two together from our guests.
I was always duck hunting and deer hunting and doing everything else it seems like everybody else likes to do around here. And everything I've always done, I tried to do it up as hard as I could. So at 15 years old, as early as I could drive, got my first truck and got a cheap little 14-foot flat bottom and a 9.9, and just started going duck hunting like crazy with my buddies. And one thing led to another, and got to where we was buying motors we couldn't afford and wheeling and dealing and getting bigger and faster boats. And after a bunch of years, got to where we was running the gun really hard after ducks and pushing hard doing that. And I had my first daughter whenever I was 19 years old, and didn't really know how to slow down. Just a kid, still am a kid, I feel like, and had to figure out something else I wanted to do. And I've been squirrel dog hunting one time with a guy back when I was 12 years old and had a good time doing that. And some guys at work kind of brought up squirrel dogging. I think they had a dog that they used to treat a few squirrels with on the weekends just for fun. And I said, yeah, it seems like it'd be a good idea. So I just literally on a whim sold everything I had for duck hunting and said, I'm not going to go no more. I'm going to do something else and try and slow down a little bit and see if I can find something I can still occupy my time doing, but, you know, be at home when I need to. And got online and just typed in like squirrel dog for sale in the search bar. Of course, didn't know any pages or anything else like that. Just typed in like squirrel dog puppy for sale. And, read through a bunch of stuff like that and come across the first squirrel dog page and joined it. And shows how little I knew then. I still don't know nothing now. But I got on there and put looking for a squirrel dog pup, have a $100 budget. Prefer one to be brindle. And, of course, people chimed in on there pretty quick, like good luck with this or that or whatever else like that. And a guy was nice enough to get on there, and he had a $250 puppy that he told me he'd come down to like $150 on. And I bought it, and it was actually at a Lost Bottoms Yeti. And I can't remember the female's name. And I lived in an apartment and had no yard, nowhere to go. And I just, every day whenever I got home from work, before my wife got home, I'd take it to the park or take it to my parents' house or somewhere. And that's kind of where it all started, just one pup on a whim decision. No one in my family has ever squirrel dog hunted, coon hunted, no rabbits, no nothing. I mean, everybody just hunted ducks and deer. So I just kind of, I guess luckily on a whim, just picked it up and haven't looked back since.
I kind of have a story that's different, but not too far off myself. But everybody that's listening, welcome to the Slick Tree Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Langford, and today we've got my buddy Garrett Key on the phone. How you doing today, Garrett?
I'm doing good, Colby. Thanks for having me on.
I met you this last winter over there, I believe pretty close to where you live, over in Arkansas, on a squirrel hunt, and got along real well, and figured it'd be good to have you on here.
Well, I appreciate you having me on here. Yeah, I don't live too far from Hazen. I live in a ward just outside of Cabot. I'm probably about 30 minutes west of there, so live in a good part of the country and a really good part of the state to do as much hunting as you want to do for whatever you want to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of public around there. That was some nice country when I visited.
Oh, I love it. I'm a flatlander through and through. I do not like hunting any hills, and around here, if you're going to try and find a hill to hunt, you're going to have to be in the bottom of a ditch. It's very flat, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. Well, let's jump back just a smidge. You said that you'd went squirrel hunting with dogs once when you were 12. Tell me about that experience. How'd that go?
My cousin lives down the road. He lived down the road from me then. Lives down the road from me now. I hadn't moved very far from where I grew up, but he's got a few hundred acres over there, And just one year, randomly after deer season, the guy that I knew, he had two little fox dogs. They looked like Chihuahuas. They were probably 10 or 12 pounds. They were little bitty old tiny white things. And my cousin at the time, he called the house phone because we didn't have cell phones. And he invited me over, and we went over to his house. And I think we hunted for, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. And I think those two little fox dogs put up like 20 or 25 squirrels, something crazy. I mean, just had an insane hunt, But I mean, his place was loaded. They don't squirrel hunt or anything like that at all, and they feed deer all year. So we was hitting feeders and riding around a ranger and just blasting every nest we could if they treed anywhere within a 50-foot radius from it, And we had a real good time. It was just kind of like that one deal. We had a good time, and I don't know if we run the guy off or what, but he never came back. We just never went again, and it just always stuck with me throughout those years. And I'd heard about guys squirrel hunting with dogs and coon hunting with dogs and stuff, of course, like that. And it always seemed like a good idea to me. I always thought it sounded fun. I would have loved to win. I just, had my head in other areas, chasing ducks and chasing deer and doing that kind of thing. And it just kind of fell into my lap, and kind of untraditional, I guess, kind of through Facebook, met some real nice guys who kind of led me in the right direction over the years, and was just kind of made it a goal not to be shy and ask questions whenever I need to ask questions, and try and keep a closed mouth and an open ear, and kind of went from there.
I gotcha. So how long's it been since you bought that first dog?
Well, that would have been, I guess, it's been a year after I graduated high school, so it'd been 2017. Okay. So about 9 years ago, something like that.
Fair enough.
Or 2 years after I graduated high school. Sorry. So I guess one less year than that.
So did you start out with just wanting to pleasure hunt and just stack a bunch of squirrels on the tailgate, or were you kind of ever thinking about comp hunting, or have you done much comp hunting?
Didn't even know comp hunting existed. Just purely had the desire to go and try and kill as many squirrels as I possibly could. Coons, squirrels, possum, didn't matter. I just wanted something that would put something up a tree and I could kill it. And I kind of got spoiled that first dog, of course, didn't know nothing. And I didn't know anybody to ask any questions to, I don't know anybody on the internet at that point or anybody personally. So all I knew is I'm just going to take this dog out and see if it starts treating squirrels. Well, the dog just, by happenstance, was supernatural. And at 4 months old, he started treating squirrels. Just, in a park, easy squirrels, stuff like that he could see and run up a tree. But he'd tree them. And then I started taking him just around the house. And, I'd put him in a little patch of woods, and he'd go up there 50, 60 yards and tree squirrels, and killed him a few. And I was like, man, there's nothing to this. You buy your dog and take it to the woods. I don't know what those guys are fussing about. I learned through several more trial and errors after that it's not always that easy, because he unfortunately got run over at 6 or 7 months old. He got out of pen one day at work, and so I went right back and got back on Facebook on a group, and I bought a pair that time. And one of those dogs, I named him Roscoe. I kept him till he was 5, and I sold him, and I actually sold him and then bought him back and then sold him again. But he was the dog that really, man, I tell you, I'd like to know how many squirrels and everything I killed to him, because it was just me and him for those first couple of years. And my best buddy, Jake Ambo, I came to him after that first one died, and I think he was kind of like me. Like, we always knew about squirrel hunting and stuff, but I actually came up to him at my cousin's wedding and told him, hey, man, I bought a squirrel dog. Here in a couple months, I'm going to try and get it started and see if you want to go. And nobody else wanted to go, just him. All my other buddies were still duck hunting. And that first year, man, if we had 30 minutes of free time or all day Saturday, we'd put that poor pup in a box and just would go all day. And he really didn't have much choice. He was going to make something. And he was just a pleasure dog. He'd have minus out in the cast pretty quick, but he was a lot of fun to take you or your kids or just your buddies with and just go kill a pile of game with.
So when you guys were running around kill hunting? Were you shotgunning or 22ing or?
Shotgunning every time. And I'm telling you, like, if that dog barked, if there was a vine I could swing on or a nest I could shoot or a hole I could stick my gun in, I was doing everything and anything to try to get something to die. He may not treat it. He may not even know it was there. But if it was around him in the area at first, I was going to do everything in my power to find it. And just bloodthirsty and running and gunning and just killing, having a good time with him. And it wasn't for several years after that I really paid any attention to the comp hunts and stuff like that. And I went through a period there after I had him. I was going to keep him, but I wanted to find something I could take to the hunts because I started doing some reading online and I kind of got the gist of, people kind of divide dogs up into pleasure dogs and comp dogs. And, I knew what I had. And I said, well, I want to get something to do some of this comp hunting with. Well, I went through a bunch and just getting pups and raising them and seeing things I liked and didn't like. And I realized I needed something else to go and do with. And then I actually went up and through Facebook was seeing Danny Williams was on there. And he was posting limits of squirrels all the time. And aside from that, he was winning some hunts, some fast hunts and casts and stuff like that. And he made a post. I didn't know much, but I'd heard of Williams Bud after getting on there doing some reading. And he made a post that he was going to take some frozen semen off Bud and breed it to Rachel, who had, I believe that year, had won the Five World Hunt. And he didn't know me and I didn't know him. I thought, yeah, right, I'll never get one of those. Well, I messaged him and he just instantly responded and said, yeah, send me $50 for a deposit and I'll put you on the list. Well, long story short, she ended up only having one pup. And he said, well, I'll send you your deposit back. Or if you want, you can have one of those other litters I have up here. And they were half Foss, half Walker. And I said, well, it was getting kind of time of year. I wasn't really interested in getting a pup to try and start that late. And I said, well, I'll just take one of them then. And her name was Wino. That's what I called her. And she was the first dog I had. I wouldn't say, I don't have any kind of major super success with her, I wouldn't say, but for a little dog, she could hold her own. And between going up there and hunting with Danny and getting some mentoring from him right off the bat, he kind of got me started down the path of knowing what to look for in a dog that I want to take to town. And I think she taught me as much as anything else. So,
coming from what you've referred to as a pleasure dog, so how did that first dog that you hunted a lot, like how did it hunt compared to what were you trying to get to with the so-called comp dog? Like what were you looking for and what were you trying to make?
Well, like with him, like there was no recut, there was no training. Like I literally just took him to the woods. I took him out of the box and I had a leash I put in my bag. And from the time we started hunting until the time we were done, he treed, you went to him, he'd stick around and beat around and stuff like that, kind of get you in the area. And if you got there and go doing some shooting and a squirrel wasn't falling, he just kind of rolled out of the next one. And that's all I knew. Well, let me back up a little bit. I actually, about the time that I got Wino, I got her and I went through a hunt with Danny. And I heard about these hard-going fast dogs he had. And those were the first dogs I went with that honestly, and it sounds kind of silly now because probably most guys' ideas when it comes to fast dogs are beating around, close hunting, more pleasurable dogs, which is kind of backwards from what I was wanting. But I can tell you right now, if anybody wants to get their feelings hurt, they can go up there and hunt with them little pocket rockets he's got, because they are not your, they're not your grandpa's feist. They just aren't. They're get treated little dogs, and mine was starting to do kind of like I'd seen up there at his house. I was taking her and cutting her, and she was moving with a lot more speed than what I had. She was getting deeper instead of hunting like a loop, a lot more hustle. She was staying treed. I was working with keeping her tight to the tree, all the things you want, not leaving, not getting down, checking herself, kind of figured out what I wanted. Well, about, I don't know, I guess she was 8 or 9 months old, and I knew she was too young to take to a hunt, and I decided that I wanted to go to one. And I can't remember who messaged who first. I think Tyler actually reached out to me, Asbury, and I was just kind of asking him some questions, or maybe he was saying something about the fights that I posted on there, because, I mean, at a young age, she was going, 900,000 yards, 0.6 of a mile, and it was really cool to me. I'd never seen a little dog, or any dog for that matter, at that point in my life, doing stuff like that, and I was enamored with it and posting on Facebook, and I think he was messaging me saying something about, like, looks like she's doing good, this or that. Well, he was putting on a hunt over here by the house, at NSD hunt, and he was nice enough. He was like, hey, I know you don't know nobody, or, whatever, but you're welcome to come over here, and you don't have to hunt if you don't want to, but there's going to be some guys here that are some really good guys. I'm sure they'd let you spectate and do all this and that. And that's where I met Mr. Gary and Bart and Mike and D, all the LBK guys, and Chris. And just from day one, never treated me like a stranger. Just as soon as you come in, say hi, shook my hand, made me feel like I was welcome. And kind of spent that first day walking around the woods with them during their casts and seeing what it took to compete, and didn't really know the rules, but just kind of seeing how it worked and this and that. And I can't say enough about how much them and Tyler, just from not knowing me from nobody, and then turn into being friends with all them guys, and they've all been nice enough to, like I said, answer any questions I have, or just be easy to talk to. Not, I'll let you be a stranger. And I went to that hunt and saw what I needed to work on and what I needed to build on, and kind of spent that next year getting ready. And she ended up doing pretty good. She had a few finals finishes, and actually I think it was the third hunt I took her to. I won the NSF Junior World with her, and that was a big deal for me, because I never before the season even started, I was looking to try and win a cast that year was my goal. So to go down to LBL and do that, I was over the moon, and I just grew to love the comp side of things pretty quick. And then, of course, after meeting a few folks, you get to go to hunting with them, and you see what they're hunting, and then you start kind of broadening your horizons on what you want, and seeing other dogs go. And I messed with Wino, and I messed with quite a few other fights throughout the years, and as good as they can be, a lot of them, they got their quirks, and they got this and that. And I had a few down here that I hunted that done really good, had some that just, they'd weird out on you. And I decided that after dealing with those for a while, that I was going to move on to hunting something else, and kind of got to see a little bit of what everybody else was hunting. And now I have no fights here, and I got 2 bigger dogs, so I'm looking forward to getting them going this year. I got them both started pretty well on their way, but seeing if we can't get something finished out and getting one like I want to by the end of this season.
Yeah, well, what have you got at the house right now? I know you've got the Brandy dog, which I got to see her go, which that whole litter really impressed me from what I've seen of them. There was a few of them in Arkansas when I came over last year, and I was impressed by all of them. That was just nice dogs all around. I mean, I couldn't believe how big of a mouth your Brandy dog had. She treed, and like that came out of that little thing.
Yeah, she. I think the whole litter by far has above average mouths, which of course Scott's got one. I got one, and there's the Clay dog, and one other Colt Reader has, and she started super young, I think she was. I'll have to go back and look. I think she was 14 weeks old or something like that, and treated her first squirrel. And then I learned you can burn them up, if you sit there and push them real hard. So just kind of let her do the driving, slow down, and took her little by little, just kind of going at a pace that I felt like I couldn't mess up. And we just went from there, and she's got a real good start on her now. I feel like when season went out, we were at a good stopping point. She come in the heat about March, and I said, well, that's good enough for me. And then I got another young dog. I think you got to see him too over there. Actually, the first moments he pulled up, I got Joe here. He's off of Lincoln Whip,
Mm-hmm.
and they got a horrible birthday for a guy like me who likes to fish so much and not hunt hard through the springtime. But I made it a goal this year that I was going to hunt through the springtime, and I think I got him pretty well on his way too. And I think hopefully one out of them two works out. I think I got my fingers crossed and got high hopes for one of them at least, if not both.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, what do you fish for quite a bit?
Man, everything. Bass fished a whole bunch, had a bunch of different bass boats, stuff like that. We got a river right here by the house, the White River, that I try to spend as much time on as I can during the summertime when it gets hot like this, because the Red River flows into it just north of here. And like right now, when it's 100 degrees, the water temp will only be about 80, which is cool for here. The lakes and stuff like that get to the 90s and stuff like that, so you can go there and go to the sandbar with the girls and hang out. But we'll go there and catfish and run trot lines and, like I said, bass fish and everything else. And this year I probably fished less than I have in any other past years, but we still made it a goal to get out there, and I think we've done more swimming and hanging out this year than we have fishing. But catch us a little bit of everything, whatever we can.
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about your process for starting one? How you like to start one?
I don't really do anything too crazy. I know a lot of guys like to do like tubes and hang-ups and drags and stuff like that. I'd say the last 4 or 5 I've had here. I don't do nothing nuts. I just, when they're real young and I got them out here in the yard, I let them out. I've got 3 daughters. They are 8 years old, 5 years old, and one new one. She's about to be 6 months old. But the oldest 2, they do most of the groundwork for me, really. I mean, I get home from work, I let the pup out, and just let the girls, they treat it like a baby doll. They carry it around, drag it around. There's no lack of socialization going on with them. And I may just once or twice, I come home from hunting, I'll give them a dead squirrel and let them chew on it or something like that. But I don't show one to them a whole bunch or anything else like that. And I'll haul one probably younger than most will. I mean, I'll have them at a young age. I mean, I'll take them to Tractor Supply and I'll take them back road and stuff like that. Get them used to going to a box. The first time you take them to the woods, they're not sick and confused and everything else like that. But man, 14, 15, 16 weeks old. I mean, you might catch me out at Walton, so I may have that little sucker with me. And if I let it out, I may have it out for 15 minutes, I may have it out for 30 minutes, but I don't go out there and just, punish them out there, just pushing and pushing and pushing. I'm more out there just to, if we make it to the woods and I let you out and you get 15 feet from me, we've had a good day. We're just out there having a good time. And I kind of leave it up to them. And then I don't know if I got lucky or just doing something right or what, but it just seems like whenever they're ready to start doing it, they're ready to start doing it. And I'll kind of let them go in the direction they want to go. I don't do much help as far as tree work or nothing else. I just kind of let them go and do their thing. And when they want to start treeing, then I'll just kind of keep it at pace. So I feel like I can't mess them up and just kind of go from there. But I don't play any of the other extra crazy games or anything else like that. I just kind of leave it up to them and allow them natural ability. I mean, whatever works for some folks may not work for another. Like I said, I'm not saying it's bad to do one or the other. That's just kind of what's been working for me. I felt like there for a while when I was trying out some different stuff. I was showing a lot of cage game and doing a lot of extracurriculars with them as far as squirrels and stuff like that. And it didn't help me then as it hasn't hurt me now. So I just kind of stayed down that path of leaving it up to them to kind of do what they want to do, until they get to treeing regularly and stuff like that. I mean, when we get to a point of we're going to the woods and they're actually going hunting and getting treed, we'll kind of take it from there. But just as far as getting to that first tree and, those first 5, 6, 10 trees were, they're going hunting, getting a tree. That's all I do. It's no big secret, nothing, no rocket science to it by any means.
Yep, just take them to the woods.
About it. I'm not good at a lot of things. I'm blessed with a pretty easygoing schedule, and um, I'm definitely no master dog trainer. I'm definitely no master handler or anything else like that. But if there's one thing I can do, I can put a dog and haul it to the woods. I'm lucky enough I get to hunt, 5 or 6 days a week, and I take advantage of it and try and keep a couple with me and just spend as much time in the woods with them as I can. I've never want to sit around and not do much. So if I get home and if I got 30 minutes, I'll go down the road 10 minutes from the house. And if I got 4 hours, then I'll go 45 minutes from the house. So
Yeah.
kind of play it by ear.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a general contractor.
Okay.
I work for my dad. We work alongside each other, and we do a lot of these like barn dominium, like shop home type deals. My dad did a bunch of light commercial work for a long time. That's kind of how the company started. And then, about 6-7 years ago, someone came to us and wanted us to do like one of these shop houses. And we did one, and then it seems like we've done 40. Like they kind of blew up everywhere. And I would say that's probably 2/3 of our business now. So
Nice. Yeah, it's nice to my through the fall and winter is kind of my slow season with work too. So I kind of feel you on being blessed to be able to hunt one quite a bit when the time's right.
I love it. My wife, she runs a daycare, and my kids go there when they get out of school, or the other ones that have still been going there. And she gets home about 6 on the winter time. Whenever the sun sets about 5:30, I mean, I can roll out pretty early and still be herding kids back home and not miss out on much. Works out really good.
Yeah.
What you have going on? You been hunting any throughout this summer heat, or just laid up fishing, or what you been up to?
You know, I haven't been doing a lot of hunting. My good dog, uh, which the time you got to see her go, well, didn't look like a good dog, but uh, I had a litter of pups out of her this spring, and I've just she's ready to go back to the woods, and we're starting to get the itch, but it's hard to get up and want to go and sweat too much right now.
I don't hunt at all, and it's like this. I
Yeah,
mean, I've never even tried. Once it gets up in the mid 90s and stuff like that, man, I'm just a big weenie when it comes to it. I really am. I'm not messing around out there in the heat and everything else that comes along with it. It's just I'll wait for it to cool back off.
yeah, I have been getting a little bit of an itch to get one out and go, but no, we try to boat around a little bit. We got a couple nice creeks around us, rock bottom clear creeks, spring fed, that are always, doesn't matter how hot it is, they're always cold. And we go play in the creek quite a bit, and go boat around on the river. And yeah, we had a pretty good little boat wreck the other day though. I guess
Oh no.
last weekend, yeah, we were running I've got a little 1656 Mod V little Havoc with a 6040 jet motor on it, and
Hmm.
we'd already been up the river, and they were working on doing bridge construction on this part, and they kind of changed the river around a little bit right there, and all three of the boats had made it up no problem. Then it's a kayak and canoe river, and so we run up, especially on the weekends. You got to get up there early and beat the canoes coming down, or else you end up having problems. And first canoe we saw coming down, we hopped in the boats and went back down river, and we were coming back down through a rocky section. I was about 12 foot to the left of where I needed to be, and I couldn't. I misread the river being the third boat in line coming down, and I ended up pinballing off one rock, and it threw us right into another rock, and put a pretty significant hole in the bottom of my hole. Uh,
Golly.
I mean, stick your fist in the hole kind of
Yeah,
hole.
I'd say that's a pretty bad one.
Yeah, yeah, and luckily we were right next to the only other boat ramp on the river, so uh,
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm glad no one got hurt.
yeah, yeah, I think I got about the worst of it. I caught I've got a grab bar that a lot of times I've got a tiller motor, and I've got kind of a grab handle, kind of like the mud boat guys run a lot, just for being able to stand
Sure.
up. and it's just comes straight up, and it's got like a 1 inch piece of aluminum pipe that comes over that's your handle, and it's not capped or anything on the end. And when I hit the rock on the right side of the boat, it pitched the boat up and kind of pitched. I had my wife and my kids both with me, pitched it up, and then it hit the second rock, and it popped the boat back up, and it just sucker punched me right in the side with that handle.
Oh man.
It got me pretty good, but
Oh, you're tough, aren't you?
yeah, we'll survive.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, but yeah, besides crashing boats and swimming, that's most of what we've been doing this summer.
Yeah, I hadn't done no boat crashing, but we've been spending plenty of time trying to stay out of the heat. I can promise you that.
Yeah, those duck boats, which you're kind of right in the heart of duck boat race country, aren't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. They're nuts about it over here. I have no desire to go anymore. I don't know if I just burnt myself out on it that bad and love this so much now I don't want to do anything else. But I couldn't give a rat's rear about going. I mean, I'd like to take my daughters on youth hunt or something like that and let them experience it and have a good time with them. But as far as fighting the masses and uh, racing people the hole in the morning and all that jazz that comes along with it, it's not for me no more. They can have it.
Yeah.
Maybe if we have 3 or 4 more bad seasons in a row, everyone will kind of quit wanting to go, and I'll start going a little bit more or something like that. But when you pull up there to the boat ramp and there's 100 trucks or 50 trucks or something else like that, squeeze in, a little piece of property, they can keep it.
Did you get into the built up two strokes and all that fun stuff when you were in it?
Oh yeah, built Megas, built Mercs, built Suzuki's. I mean, bought and sold a Havoc or two every year, try to make a little extra money and try to get faster and faster. You know how it is, and it's never enough. Different props, jack plates, all that fun stuff, messing with it. And I mean, I like the getting it all set up and hauling butt on the river. That's a good time. But that's about all I like it for there at the end is just get one like that and try and flip it and make a little money and get a little faster. And then now I just got an old 16-foot Express with a Tahatsu on it, and I put around with the girls and run a few lines and have a good time.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, you got big plans for this coming up squirrel season? Going to try and run the roads any, or got some different pups you want to get started, or?
Yeah, I've got a pair of pups here at the house, and I've got a couple others that are farmed out. But I'm gonna see if I can't get any of them going. I'd like to kind of try to. I'm gonna try to make it to, as long as my dog's not in heat again this year. Gonna try to make it to NSD World.
Yeah.
Come March, and I've never hunted LBL. I'd like to kind of get out there and check that out, and I'm gonna try to make it back down to the Delta at some point, and I'd like
There
to
you
make
go.
it back down to your area at least once this year. I don't know that I'm going to try to run the road or anything like that, but I do have some plans to try to run around a little bit and hunt. Just it's fun to go hunt different areas. I mean, I love killing the local squirrels, but it's fun to go hunt some different country.
Oh, for sure. I don't got any crazy plans. I'm going to try and, I guess my big goal, I've never been to nationals, so I really want to go hunt junior nationals this year. And I guess that's kind of be like my big hunt, that in the junior world. And maybe enter a few hunts around here. Like I said, I don't know. I know the direction I'm headed with these young dogs, and they're off to a good start, but we'll just kind of have to see where we end up with at the time being, if they're ready for it or not. So we shouldn't get too far from the house too many times, though.
I'm gonna try to make it down. I haven't seen any of the hunt schedules, but I'd like to make it down and come to one of Bart's hunts, if nothing else, this year. You mentioned
Oh,
those
that's a
LBK
great.
guys, and that's a great group of guys right there.
They are. There's some really good dudes. All them guys, like I said, they've been nothing but helpful to me, and uh, we text and holler at each other. And Gary, he's retired now, so I think I run into him at least a few days a week out there at Wattensaw or somewhere else, and we'll talk and cut up. And it's a good club to come to, whether it's at Bard's camp or at at the clubhouse there. Uh, I've always had a real good time talking to them guys and everybody else that comes along with it, and plenty of good hunting and different places to go. Doesn't seem like any issues ever arise out of anything, so you ought to come on down sometime.
So, what would you say the biggest difference between the tree and curs you're hunting now and and the fights, like kind of explain the differences, like what you see in the woods and how they're acting.
Um, well, I mean, obviously these dogs I'm hunting now are way louder. That's a given. But it's kind of been a learning curve for me because like all the fast dogs I've had around here, when they're little pups and stuff like that, they're kind of like messed up rats. Like they just like they're always antsed up and they're running ain't nothing and stuff like that. And uh, these bigger dogs I've had around here, they kind of act a little different. They've been a little more like they're still going hard and stuff like that, but you know they're a little more uncoordinated and this and that, and so they kind of act a little different. But the biggest thing I see in the woods, with what I'm hunting now and what I was hunting then, is you know, I say they have a little more drive and a little more willingness to keep going. Um, I hate to make it sound like I hate to make it like sound like I'm putting one down over the other, but for the most part, the fast dogs, if they get in an uncomfortable situation, most of them are going to shut down. That's just the facts of the matter. I'm not saying all of them, but if they get hot or they get uncomfortable or they get cold or they get around a dog they don't want to be around or they get around a strange person, and I'm not talking about like a socialization issue. Like I'm not talking about like you've isolated these dogs and they're weirded out. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like you do your best to prepare for all these situations. You know, a lot of them they get weirded out, and it may take them a bit to get going. And I run into any kind of issues with that. These dogs, they got this. I don't know if it's less brains and more hunt or what you want to call it, but um, I'm looking for a dog now that you can obviously like cut it, get hooked quick, stay hooked up, and um, be able to hear it a long ways, and not to deal with none of the other crap. Not to deal with worrying about what's it going to look like this time. There's a little more predictability, even in the younger dog, a little more predictability, and it's just an uneasy feeling whenever even if you're going to hunt with your buddies and do something simple, or whether you're going to hunt and kind of worrying about, what if they bump into each other and you get this, or what if you go hunt with so and so and they act weird or something like that. These dogs just seem like they got a lot more uh, grit and the ability to, stay focused on the task at hand and not let other things interfere with that.
Are you much of a squirrel eater?
I keep a few here and there, but to be honest with you, no. I know so many people that want them, that will take them whole, that I give them to them. I mean, I keep a few for me and the girls. My wife, she doesn't want anything else to do with them, but my girls will get a few, and I'll eat some too. But there's a few local guys around here that, everybody wants them if you've got them cleaned and skinned and bagged up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I get them to that point, they're mine.
Yeah.
I want them like that. So you try and find somebody who will just take them like they are. They're a little hard to find, but I got two or three folks that haven't turned one down in 4 or 5 years, man. So it I hate to waste game or do anything silly like that. And you can call them day or night, 7 days out of the week, and they'll let you leave them on their porch and get them next morning, or find a way to get them from you. And I give them as much as I can, and they eat them and feed their families with it, and that makes me feel better than them going to waste. So
There you go.
y'all like to eat a whole bunch of them, don't you?
It's my little boy's favorite food, and I'm pretty
Yeah,
fond of them myself. I've even kind of got figured out how to cook them to where my wife even seems to really like them.
yeah.
So
I I put them like in a pressure cooker for about 10 or 15 minutes, some
mm-hmm.
chicken broth, and then deep fry them just to put kind of like a texture on them.
Yep.
And my wife's kind of like, I know I know dang well that if she didn't know what she was eating, she'd scarf it down probably. But I think mentally, I think she's shut down over eating a squirrel than she is what it actually tastes like.
Yeah, I've ran into that with more than one person, but yeah, it's pretty similar to how I'm doing them, which I need to figure out a few more recipes, which is I don't think my little boy would ever get sick of eating them fried like that, but I need to figure out to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I took I don't know if it popped in my head. Haven't you taken a squirrel hunting trip to Kansas before?
Well, I don't live very far from Kansas, and like I'm only like 10 miles from Kansas, and
Yeah.
and so I've got a Kansas lifetime license actually, so I bounce up there and I hunt up there pretty regular.
Man, we went turkey hunting up this year, and my cousin's good friends with the guy, and we were around his farm, and there's just where he's at, it is straight fox squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did not see a gray squirrel and saw nothing but fox squirrels, and we're supposed to make a trip up there this year, and go hunt, and I'm really looking forward to that because they're fox squirrels, they're the size of like actual foxes, and they're everywhere, and everywhere we went, it just seemed like they were just like sitting ducks. So we plan on trying to make a trip up there this winter, maybe, and try and kill a few if we can.
Yeah, they them big fat Kansas fox squirrels. They're a lot different hunting than the little flighty grays around the house. You can't hardly get one of them reds up there to timber hardly. Uh,
Oh, and the
they just
trees are,
they
well, where
just
we were at, anyways, the trees are short, and it seems like it'd be easy to find them at least.
yeah yeah
The gray squirrels here, which I mean, you can get some areas there where, man, they're crazy. They're flighty and quick, which we had a heck of a squirrel population last year. I mean, I can't tell you how many young squirrels that we treated and seen and killed. And I mean, there was just an overabundance of squirrels. So I'm hoping this year's the same way. I'm hoping that we got a real good year for treeing. Some should be a good year for hunting or doing whatever you want to do with them. So
yeah. Well, I'm planning on. I'm gonna try. Kind of my goal this year is not just to run over and go to. I'd like to hit Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and LBL is kind of my goal. We'll see if I make it, but I'd really, instead of just running down and getting down Friday evening and then hunting Saturday and running back, I'd really like to try to go down a day or two early and kind of run around and do a little bit of kill hunting and
oh yeah,
and kind of enjoy the trip instead of just running down and making a cast or two and running back is what my goal
yeah,
is.
that yeah, that LBL, some people like it. I don't. I don't know if it's where I've been in the cast, stuff like that. It's a lot of up and down for a guy like me. I mean, it's very pretty and stuff like that, but you may get a kick out of it for sure.
Yeah,
I know.
I like some terrain, so we'll see.
I know. I know Justin Hitchens. He makes a few trips there a year, and they always have a good time. Seems like they kill a bunch of squirrels whenever they go. So
Yeah, I'm kind of fat, so I always figure walking up and down some hills ain't nothing but good for me. So I kind of welcome it as much as I hate it sometimes.
that's right. Hey, I'm a little guy, and it hurts me. I guess I'm just soft.
Oh yeah, we went down and did some scouting for bear season the other day, and that's some rough country down there where we bear hunt at, and it's kind of
Is
one of
that
them deals.
around close to your place, kind of?
No, it's down in southeast Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're
it's
kind of over there towards like Fort Smith area, maybe somewhere over in there.
farther south than that, but yeah, kind
Oh, okay,
kind of the same train as kind of the Fort Smith area though.
I got you. I've never done any bear hunting. I wouldn't even know where to start.
It was tough for us to figure it out. I think we've got a little bit of a pattern figured out on, but it's they're elusive critters when you're hunting them in the mountains on public. So
Oh, on public land, yeah,
hmm
yeah. I guarantee you, you're not having to. You can't sit over a big barrel full of peanut butter, probably where you're going over there. Then can you?
no, and I don't have
Yeah,
any problem with that personally. I think there's a lot of merit to hunting bait. Uh, we just don't have anywhere that we could bait, so we
sure.
kind of had to go the poor boy route and just kind of wander around in the mountains till we found some. But
That probably just makes it that much better
you know it
when you get it done.
yeah, last year my brother and I both killed our first bears last year, and it made it worth it. I think that was our 6th year going down there trying, and it was our first year to either one of us see one. So we uh we had a good year last year. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Hopefully I'll do good this year.
I hope so. I hope so. But it's kind of one of those things where, at this point, we've got some on the ground and we've got some killed. So I could probably fueled for another 2 or 3 years wandering around in the mountains without killing one. So
That's right. That's right.
well, you got any other big plans for? You still do much deer hunting, or just pretty much down to the
No,
squirrel dogs?
Just squirrel dogging, man. I pick one thing and I stay with it pretty hard. I'm gonna do that. My girls do love deer hunt, so I'm going to take them down there, and we got a camp in South Arkansas we go to, and I do get a lot of enjoyment out of taking them down there and just hanging out and having a good time and watching them. My oldest daughter Layla, she is a certified deer slayer now. She's killed several a year for a couple of years, and she's mad at them. I think that's her favorite thing to do right now. So I'm gonna take her as long as she wants to go. And my middle one, Emma Claire, she's 5. She's gonna tag along a little bit this year and kind of get the gist of what's going on out there. And she's the wild one, so I think she's gonna take to it pretty quick. And I'm sure it won't be too long. She'll be the one wanting to tote a gun around. So I'm sure that'll be our next venture for sure.
Yeah. How old did you say your oldest was? I know you mentioned earlier, but I forgot.
She's 8.
She's 8.
She's 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. My boy's 8, and I haven't let him. He's been deer hunting with my wife a handful of times, and he's watched my wife kill one before. But the way I hunt, I don't. It's not real. I'm usually popping up in a climber, making little single sits in trees, and it's a tough way to hunt with kids. So he hasn't really been much with me. But
my daughter, I don't know if it's right or wrong. I'll spoil her, like set up a ground blind and a giant feeder at 40 yards and put her a gun in a bipod and said like go nuts. And we have just I told her as long as she wants to shoot and kill it, then we'll clean it and eat it. And I took her down there. She was 6, and the first trip was muzzleloader, which I guess she can straight wall. But I bought her a 350 Legend for her to use or me to use whenever I want to. And opening day she killed 3. So she is she's ruined.
Killer.
And I don't know if she's ever I don't know if she's sat on a deer stand for more than an hour and a half at a time. Every time she sits, she kills a doe or a spike or something else like that. And as long as that's what fans her flame, we'll just keep on doing that. I may have to pump the brakes a little this year. She wants to keep on going through that, but she doesn't show any signs of wanting to slow down at all. So we'll see.
I've been trying to get my boy to. He's kind of been racking up small game species. He killed a couple different types of duck last year and some squirrels, and he's killed a couple coon and turkey hunted pretty hard this year with him, which we got him he drew a tag in Kansas, and we got him his bird in Oklahoma, and then went up and we hunted Kansas a handful of times, and he had opportunities. He kind of got to learn some lessons. It's another kind of one of them hunting public deals to where on them public turkeys you got to be on your game, and so he learned a couple lessons this year. So
oh yeah, mine haven't done a bunch of the other stuff like that. I mean, they love to go with me if we go run the dogs, and I bring the ranger especially. That makes it easy on them. They love doing that, but their big things fishing. I think if I could, as much as I love to fish, if I could go as much as they want to go, they'd probably burn me out of it.
Yeah.
They can't catch you leaving here with the boat, or they'll get sold up if they're not going. If they can get a pole in their hand or get out there and do something else, that's all they want to do, and we have a good time doing that. So they got early in the year, the white bass will stack up in here pretty hard, and we'll turn them loose with rooster tails or minnows or whatever way they want to catch them, and I'll let them reel them in until they get tired. They eat it up.
I hear you. Yeah, our river right here at the house, we got a lot of white bass. It's nice to hear someone else call them white bass, not same bass for a change. But
yeah,
we got a really good white bass population. It's we get pretty. I haven't been as mad at them the last couple of years as I have been in the past, but we go out pretty solid there for a month or so when it's right, and he gets kind of bored. When it's not every other cast, he'll resort to playing in the boat, waiting for me to catch one, being net man. He's a pretty good net man though. So.
Oh yeah, we always caught him on artificial bait, and then just this last year, saw a guy on Facebook who was, I mean, kind of in a way, kind of like the same way you'd rig up a deal for catfish with just a minnow on bottom, and just casting them in and out and reeling it in real slowly. And I was live hard, die hard by the white rooster tail for a white bass. Like they're going to eat this or they're not here. And I put it away and just went with the minnow this year. And I may not change. It's for us here the way it was. It was a game changer. I can tell you that.
Nice. Yeah, we throw a lot of like firecracker colored like go-go minnows and Bobby Garland stuff like that. We do real well on those.
Yeah, I don't care what it takes to catch them as long as we're catching them. They're happy and I'm happy. So.
Well, you got any good stories to close us out on? We're coming up on time.
I don't know if I have any that are viewer appropriate or anything else like that might incriminate me. I tried to think of something that's pretty good. I mean, nothing that really just stands out off the bat. So sorry, I knew that was my homework for the night.
I gave you homework.
Yeah, some things never change. I was never good at that. So
I hear
sorry
you.
about that.
Oh no, it's all right. I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you.
All right. That's right. You get down around this way this year. We'll put you in some squirrels or something and get you fed and find a way to make it up to you.
Sounds good. Well, Garrett, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'll look forward to getting to see you and hang out with you sometime this fall or winter. So.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we look forward to. I appreciate you letting me come on here and ramble just a little bit.
We'll do it again sometime. For everybody else out there listening, take care and keep wearing out that boot leather. I just want to give everyone that's listening a sincere thank you. Getting this podcast going has been a project. I really hope you're enjoying it, and if you don't mind, give the show a good rating and review wherever you're listening to it at, or share it on your social media to help get some traction. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to your feedback.